Welcome to Allie's Attic, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and it's time for Allie's Thought of the Day. Now, I've also included on this day in history, which I'm going to do every time I do Allie's Thought of the Day. So, let's get started. In 1974, Hank Aaron of the Atlanta Braves hit his 715th career home run, breaking Babe Ruth's legendary record of 714 homers. Now that is amazing. If I actually can hit the ball, it either just bounces in front of me or maybe makes it to the pitcher mound. On this day in 1994, a very sad day for the entire world, rock star Kurt Cobain was found dead in his home. In 1967, the year I was born, Leslie Gore performed California Nights on Dick Clark's American Bandstand. In 2006, a man who is missed dearly, Prince's album 3121 was number 1 on the US album chart. In 1963, Julian Lennon was born to Cynthia and John Lennon. He was the first child to be born to a Beatle. Now, I've seen Julian, and he does not look like a Beatle. So, I don't know why they say that. In 1985, Michael Jackson's song We Are the World hit number 1 on the Billboard chart pop hit. In 1979, the last episode of All in the Family aired. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy about that show, about racism, about domestic abuse. I don't believe in racism. I've been involved in domestic abuse and I don't think it's right. But some of the episodes were kind of funny. In 2015, if you are a Star Wars fan, the comic Darth Vader number 4 was released. In 1968, the 40th Academy Awards were postponed April 10th due to the death of a legendary man, Martin Luther King. Now let's get on to Allie's Thought of the Day. Today we're going to talk about confidence, something that I lack. Believe it or not. The reason I went to radio is because nobody can see me. The ironic part is I modeled from the time I was 16 to 18 and had confidence galore. And then I met the wrong man. And then I got caught up in the abuse cycle where you finally get the nerve to leave them and then you end up with the same type of man. Now, I know there are a lot of women and men out there who are totally understanding what I'm saying right now. And it really, really destroys your confidence in yourself. Here are definitions of confidence. The feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, firm trust. The state of feeling certain about the truth of something. A feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own ability or qualities. Now, this is a quote by Dalai Lama, which I love. With realization of one's own potential and self-confidence in one's ability, one can build a better world. So here are some tidbits I found on the internet about boosting your confidence, and I'm going to share a couple that I was told to do after I read through all of these. So tap into the confidence you were born with. You didn't come out of the womb unsure of your cry or insecure about your large umbilical cord. You came out blissfully unaware of external judgment, concerned only with your own experience and needs. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should be oblivious to other people. It's just that it may help to remember confidence was your original nature before time started chiseling away at it. Once you developed a sense of self-awareness, you started forming doubts and insecurities about how other people saw you. You learned to crave praise and avoid criticism, and maybe you started getting down on yourself if you got more of the latter than the former. So when you start feeling unsure of yourself, remember, we were all born with confidence, and we can all get it back if we learn to silence the thoughts that threaten it. Now, I can't remember being born, so I'm not sure if I could go back to that and have it help me boost my self-confidence. But anyway, know your strengths and weaknesses. Learning who you are doesn't happen overnight. For one thing, it can be hard to know which parts of you are you and which parts are who you think you should be. And we're all guilty of that. A good start is to identify your strengths and weaknesses and then weigh those against what you enjoy. If you're great in sales, but you actually can't stand sales jobs, then it doesn't really matter if you have confidence. Unless it's all about ego, but that doesn't really make you happy. It might help to list 5 things you do well that you enjoy and 5 things you'd like to do well. Make an effort to utilize some of the first list and work on some of the second every day. As you use your strengths and improve where there is room to grow, you'll develop both confidence and fulfillment simultaneously. Expect success. It might seem strange to say expect success since you can't predict the future. But don't we do the alternative all the time? Have you ever gone into a stressful situation assuming the worst, that something would go wrong? Conventional wisdom suggests it's smart to expect the worst because you won't be disappointed if you fail and you'll be pleasantly surprised if you succeed. But research suggests this isn't universally true. Pessimism can undermine your performance, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Find the successes in every day, and you'll notice over time that they increase. Trust your capabilities. No one in the world knows everything. Everyone is good at some things and not so good at others. Don't weigh your security against what you know or can do. Weigh it against your willingness and capacity to learn. If someone criticizes you, take it as an opportunity to improve. If someone does better than you, see it as an opportunity to learn from them. If you fall short at something, realize you can get closer next time. Don't worry if you're not confident in what you can do now. Be confident in your potential. Now, embrace the unknown. People often think confidence means you know you can create the outcome you desire. To some extent it does, but the idea isn't universally true for anyone. No matter how talented, smart, or capable you are, you cannot predict or control everything that happens in your life. Even confident people lose jobs, relationships, and sometimes their health. Confidence comes from knowing your competence, but acknowledging it's not solely responsible for creating your world. When you take that weight off your shoulders and realize that sometimes the twists and turns have nothing to do with what you did or should have done, it's easier to feel confident in what you bring to the table. Take risks. Now, if you've always do things as you always have done them, of course you're not going to feel confident. Now, for people that move around a lot, you get highly insecure with relationships. You avoid getting close to anyone. But then you realize that the only way out was through. I'd never be good at relationships if I didn't jump in, get messy, and learn what to do and not to do. Not saying that I am good at relationships, but I have learned some rights from wrong. And you have to crawl, walk, fall, and repeat to get comfortable with vulnerability and conflict. You're going to make tons of mistakes, and you may experience a lot of hurt. But you live a peopled life now, and it's worth all the discomfort it took to get there. Learn how to receive praise. I still have a hard time with this. It's amazing how easy it is to believe all the negative things people say and yet discredit the positive. Taking a compliment is an art. Sometimes it's instinctive to assume they're just being nice, or that maybe you aren't really skilled, you just got lucky. Occasionally this may be true, but for the most part you earn the praise you receive. Don't talk yourself out of believing it. Instead, recycle it into confidence. You did a fantastic job on the project at work. That means you can do it again. You had an amazing performance. That means you can trust you're talented. Other people want you to succeed. Now you just have to believe them when they show you're worthy. Practice confidence. Like anything else in your life, your confidence will improve with practice. A great opportunity to do this is when you meet new people. Just like if you were the new kid in school. They have no idea who you are, meaning you have an opportunity to show them. As you shake their hand, introduce yourself, and listen to them speak, watch your internal monologue. If you start doubting yourself in your head, replace your thoughts with more confident ones. Ask yourself what a confident person would do, and then try to emulate that. Watch your posture and your tone. Hunching and mumbling will make you feel and look less confident. So stand up and speak slowly and clearly. People are more apt to see you how you want to be seen if they suspect you see yourself that way. You may have confidence in some areas and not in others. That's how it works for most of us. Draw from those areas where you're self-assured. If you feel inadequate in professional situations, recall how it feels physically when you're confident in relationships. If you're insecure in love, access what you feel when you're comfortable around friends. Now, some of these I've kind of heard before. The practice confidence was worded a little bit different. It's called fake it till you make it. And I honestly believe in it. The more you fake being positive and being confident, the more apt you'll become that way. So try it. Also, one of the things my grandma taught me was look in the mirror daily, sometimes more than once a day, and really look at yourself and notice all your perfections. Don't notice your imperfections. And talk to yourself. Tell yourself that you are worth love, that you love yourself, that you're a special human being, and that you're confident, and you do a good job at everything you do. The more you practice that, I think the more it happens. Another thing that I do is I watch other people, especially people who are highly confident. I watch their facial expressions. I listen to how they talk. I watch their body posture. I watch how they move their hands. So the more you watch confident people and take tips from that, the more confident you're going to be. So until next time, when we do Allie's Thought of the Day, I hope that this helped you, and I hope that if you're not confident, you use some of the suggestions and become the confident person that you deserve to be. And the number one rule in becoming confident is love yourself. Thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic. Keep checking my website because you never know what kind of surprises you'll find in my attic. Cheers.